We'll be in the trade room 1 minute. Okay, let's get started. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the PPI trade room, 10-minute trades. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director. Fred, let me check. Please remember that all the trades we take are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures, so please trade carefully. And here are the charts we're going to be looking at. I'm looking at gold this morning. Let me put the news up. So Fred, let me ask you a question. Did you get an email of the WMM? Did you get a weekly email? You did not. Do you always get the emails? I'll look into it after the room. All right, folks. So good morning. And we are looking at US PPI, Producer Price Index. Definitely an inflationary harbinger type report. It's a price type report. So it could have a strong effect on the market. PPI generally is a moderate, not a big mover as a rule. And I want to welcome, we have a lot of visitors and we have folks streaming on YouTube with us. There's a lot going on. I'm just going to check our website for something real quick. To see if our schedule is up there the right way. Now we post our schedule on the login screen of the trade room. So there's always a schedule posted when you get ready to go into the trade room, just in case. Fred, I believe you're right, so I'll fix it. I don't know how that happened, but it did, so it'll get fixed. Yeah, I'll fix it. I'll fix it. No problems on my end with Ninja 8 this morning. Logged right in. All right, so let's look at what we're doing this morning. And I just want to welcome everybody. So it's an 8:30 event. And when you look at the daily report, it can be a little bit confusing. You have to do a deeper look, because this trade sometimes trades with other news. And when it trades with other large news, or with Thursday claims, we don't trade it as a family money trade. We trade it by itself as a family money trade. So it looks like it won all the time, but it's really being judged when it's not trading with other news, okay? If it trades with retail sales is a much stronger report, okay? So they're not included in our table or our journal up here. So it's been doing nicely when it trades by itself. These are pretty much the results when it more often than not trades by itself. There's a secondary ES trade that I want to be totally upfront. I have not tested this ES trade, so I'm going to watch it today. All right, let's see how the ES performs on this news. Now I think the ES, everything has rolled, right? So ES is 322. What do you do if you're not sure? So let's say you're not sure if the ES has rolled over. Go to the market analyzer inside the software. Add the instrument ES 322, and then you add the previous ES, which was 1221, and you can compare the daily volumes. There's a lot of different ways you can check to see which contract you want to be trading. So we're quite a bit higher, but importantly, you see how it says -5 days until rollover? That means it rolled over 5 days ago. So this volume is going to shrink on December every day, and it's going to grow on the March. So I'm not trading the ES, I'm just watching it. We'll see how it reacts. And I'd watch it on a 1-minute chart. So gold has a trend down. Now gold, how long ago did gold make a new low? There's a low not that far away on the chart. So it can act as a magnet, but it does somewhat depend how long ago gold made the new low. And it was quite a while ago. It was 3:30 in the morning. So I believe there is probably a strong possibility you're going to see that low tested either before this event or right after. And possibly at the gold open, which is at 820. Yeah, I'm going to update the website after this trade room for everybody with the schedule. Don't forget, when you go to the login to the trade room, and let me show you what I mean. So when you log in for the trade room, if you scroll down, there's our schedule, okay? Before you come into the trade room, you've got a full schedule. Now there should be also up on here the schedule, and that is correct. All right, the correct schedule is, so that makes no sense. Let me tell you why. If that schedule is correct, it's coming from the website. Yeah, and it is the correct schedule. I have to really look into why the website is not updating. I'll check it. Okay. But so just so everyone's clear, you can always get the schedule in multiple places. All right, so I'm going to set up gold trade for PPI. I just want my brackets nice and clean looking, so I'm not doing anything yet. I'm just testing something for myself, so you can ignore what I'm doing for a second. So it's Tuesday. The week's going to get real busy for 2 days in the middle of the week. Very busy for 2 days in the middle of the week. And then next week, you'll see things are going to start to slow down tremendously. Next week is the week before Christmas, the week after Christmas. Most probably there won't be any DMMs. I know that my boss who generates the DMMs definitely every year takes those 2 weeks off. So it's highly unlikely that there will be any DMMs next week and the week before New Year's. Hey, good morning, Jody. If he were running the trade room, he would close the trade room next week and the week after. And a lot of trade rooms do close, but I like to watch and or trade some of the big reports. There still are big reports that will move the markets, but it's not the same kind of trading as it is when the markets have no holidays. These are really big holidays, and it does affect volume and fills, and it does change the trading somewhat. So you just want to be aware of that. So core PPI, I'm going to set up a trade. I use, just as a heads up, I use a bracket of 6 on this report. So that's what I'm going to use. It's gold, it's volatile. Now you have targets of 5 and 10 if you're using 2 positions. And I'm using 3. And the stop is 10 ticks. The stop is 10 ticks. And our entry time is 8:29.59. It's a breakout trade. 8:29.59. And of course, I always label all my trades. So one more time, I'm using a bracket of 6. The bracket is 5 to 6. And targets 5 to 10. You can use 4 and 8. You can use 4 and 11. Depending how much risk you want to take, it's up to you. And the stop is 10. And the entry time is 8:29.59. Okay, 8:29.59 is the entry time. All right, I'm watching the ES. I'm going to watch the ES on the right chart to see what kind of move we get out of it, if anything. And I'm putting my recorder on and we'll watch a video or two. So give me 1 second. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because I can. Oh, no, I can't. All right. So just for everyone out there, if anybody's confused, here's this week's schedule. So we'll be back here at 4 o'clock for API. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be starting at 8 a.m. for retail sales and Canada Core CPI. I think the biggest move of the week is possibly the FOMC statement. It would be probably the most volatile of all of the reports that we'll see. I think that'll move the markets more than anything. And then Thursday has quite a few interesting reports that we don't trade, and we'll get into that on Thursday, but I want to have trade rooms for them and possibly look at maybe after the event trades on the first two, at least on the British rate and the Euro rate. They never release the same day. Because of the holidays, they're putting reports together that don't normally trade together, and they've started a week before I would have expected. It's a little bit early. I was surprised to see some reports being squeezed together that we've never seen squeezed together before. So it's pretty unusual, pretty unusual. I'm just checking my time. So my entry time, it's a good idea to be careful when you get ready to put your trade on. Now, I've reached out to the programmer to figure out where my logo is. Let's check our time sync. So one of the things that's very important, we need our time to be in sync, right? We're trading at a very specific time. Remember what I said? I believe that this low of the day, this red line, gold is going to go to 1782 within the next half hour. I believe it will absolutely test this level. I'm going to sync my computer by going to the website time.is. All right, that's our website that syncs a Windows computer. It'll probably sync, I would assume it would sync any computer. So it puts my computer in sync. All right, why do I want to be in sync? Because I'm trading at a very specific time. Okay. So there's a trend on the ES, somewhat down, not monstrous, 33 ticks, 46 ticks on gold trending down. This was November's PPI report. PPI comes out, the news is negative, very slow response. And it took about 14 seconds before there was even a response. I shrunk my targets because it wasn't moving, just wasn't moving. Which happens. We call that a pretty dull response. And it just kind of hung around very close to the fill. Now, the news was somewhat negative, which under normal conditions would push gold to the upside. But gold, very honestly, hasn't traded that way in a long time. Now, you had a high of the day that is sort of like our low of the day today, right? See how it just tested that high of the day? So if we get a short fill, that will make that low of the day more of a target. See, it looks like it's gonna test it now. There it goes. Gold, told you gold was gonna test that low. And there it goes. Now, is that a test? It's pretty close. Needs a couple of more ticks. So what you're seeing is volatility based on the gold open. Gold opens at 820. So I'm just watching as it tests. I think it's going to finish the test before the trade. There it goes. Now that's a pretty close test. It doesn't have to break it or touch it. A test qualifies 2 to 3 ticks. There it goes. That breaks the low. I call that a magnet trade. And I'm trying to think, gold did it yesterday also. So that's the gold open. In other words, in the old days, there used to be a gold pit. And all the guys would be on the floor of the exchange screaming gold prices, buying and selling. So that's the motivation for the 820 in the morning gold movement. You see it, we see it very often in the room. We see gold moving, and no one knows why, but we know why. We actually do know why. What I'm surprised is seeing the ES move at the same time on the gold open. That's kind of very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I want to see gold take a chill now. I don't want it to keep moving in this dramatic a fashion. Now, I just want to tell the folks that are watching on YouTube, you can come in for free. For our holiday, we did 12 days of Christmas holiday free trade rooms. Let me just type in the link. Just put this in your browser and it will get you into our trade room lobby. Okay, so now we should see gold calm down before the event. Let's look at September's PPI. And that was a nice move, fast and reversed. And there was a Canada event that morning also. That's what's going on the other side. I'm curious if we showed the news or not. It was Canada. It was Canada's jobs report. Very small move for Canada's jobs report. It definitely moves significantly more when it trades with the U.S. jobs report. And then I've got one more PPI going back to July. Going back to July. So this was July 14th. Now that hit the first target. You had to be a little bit quick on that one to get out. And then it shot through. I remember that trade. I was holding my order. It moved rather quickly. Now I do want to type in for everybody. Don't forget we have a free U.S. Jobs Masterclass on Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you want to register, here's the link, familymoneytrades.com. And I will register you for the free masterclass. That's Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm just watching gold. Just watching the market. So at 829.59, my orders will appear on the chart. Gold's pretty volatile. So I'd like to see it calm down now. So I'm just watching. So the current price, we will put a bracket 6 ticks above it, 6 ticks below it. Just watching the market. Now let's say you decided you wanted to cancel your trade. You would just uncheck this little checkbox. If you saw that you just didn't feel comfortable trading for whatever reason, you could uncheck that checkbox. And then there would be no trade taking place. Okay, we got about 35 seconds. Fifteen seconds. My orders are going to show up now. The news is out. Not much of a move. Not much of a move. Not liking it. It's going to stop us out. Combining my orders. It's going the wrong way. Look at the ES. Look at the ES. Much better trade. Gold did not even come close to working properly. Not a whole heck of a lot you can do when the index does not work. Jody, I didn't see the ES at the beginning of the move. Did it go the opposite way? Did it go the opposite way? So ES looked like a good move. Okay, it looked like a good move. But apparently what happened is, so the bracket, way too small. Let's look at both moves and see what happened. The ES went up first. How many ticks did it go up, Chantal? Can you tell? Because a 4 bracket is just too darn small with that kind of a move. Here's the frustration of gold not working. Look at the news results. Gold should have moved down. Had it behaved the way it always behaves during previous years of this type of report. So the prices are higher than normal. So the ES looks like it now is going to test that low. It's pretty close to it now. Let's look at the move and see what happened. There goes the ES testing that low. So I think they're saying now the market is not, obviously the market doesn't like the PPI news because the ES is, the question is the ES going to continue down or is it going to reverse before the market open? That's an hour away. Gold, it sort of really treated us poorly. I think 4 was too small, Chantal. I wanted to watch the ES because I had not tested it on this report. My gut feeling, well, certainly after watching it, an 6 to 8 bracket would have been a good bracket size. It's always easy to figure it out after the move. It's easy to figure it after the move. So here's the video. Gold, you could just tell it wasn't responding to the news. Now look, we saw a winning trade just a couple of months ago where it didn't respond to the news. Now here's the movement. Let me get to the real time. So here's our Here's the movement. The news comes out, no move, but the news is not fully out yet. So, and then it just did not respond. It did not follow through at all to the fill. And once it goes all the way up that way, it's so close to the stop, it sort of pulls into it. Now let's look at the ES and see what happened. So the ES went up. You could see it, it just pulled up enough to fill a 4-tick bracket. No question, an 8-tick bracket would have been very, very safe on the ES. So unfortunately, trade didn't work. Trade didn't work this morning. I still want to remind everybody we have a master class coming up. Let me just give you info on the master class real quick. Friday. So the master class on Friday, 1 p.m., www.familymoneytrades.com. Okay, so definitely register for the master class on Friday. And we'll definitely look into how we want to trade this report going forward. So it's so frustrating when this takes place the way it takes place. Gold, it's moving down and it decides just to stop us out with the trade and then continue its merry way down. And the ES, the lesson from the ES is a bracket, a larger bracket is definitely necessary to trade the ES on this report. Certainly based on today, you got to go back and look at the last 4 reports to double check that bracket. All right, we'll be back here at 4. We'll be back here at 4 for the API report. So any questions, folks? Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, I know it does. Okay. I'll see everybody at 4. See everybody later. That's an interesting, let's take a quick look at the NQ because I was thinking about the NQ also. So NQ looks very much like the ES without testing it at the time of the trade. You don't know which bracket would work, but the NQ looks like it has a very usable move also. All right, I'll see everybody later.